think so?
Yes, show me more.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right.
Someone buys my clothes for me in New England. They are the best material. Don't you think?
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Are you all right?
Yes, I've just never seen such beautiful stuff. I want to drive.
You want to.
Yes,
Do you even know how?
of course I do. Oh, I'm leaving.
Do you always watch for the longest day of the year and then miss it?
Our main theme in Gatsby was control and how each of the characters goes through different stages of gaining control, trying to keep it, and then eventually losing it.
All right. And in our movie, throughout each of the scenes, each scene was Gatsby's like flashback. He's just reflecting on the past. And in the first scene, we had Emma, who was Gatsby, leaning against a tree, and she was just pondering and thinking, and we'll have Emma explain what she was doing.
So, my posture, I guess, and the stance I was in, I had one knee up and then one leg straight, and I wanted that to like symbolize his indecisiveness about life and how he wanted to get Daisy, but then he was he was confused and he didn't know where to turn because he had gotten all this money, and then to find out that she's married, he didn't know what to do, and so he was kind of floundering along, and eventually he lost her because he wasn't as stable as Tom was.
All right. And throughout that scene, we had different camera angles. I started out with the camera pointing up towards the tree, to symbolize just like it's a normal day, and then we'd come in and then we just focus on Gatsby and his thoughts. And then at the end, we turned to the roses in the background, and the roses just kind of symbolize like his love and his loss. So in the shirt scene, which is the first scene that Gatsby's flashing back to, when Gatsby's throwing down the shirts, the different camera angles that I have is when Gatsby is more up above Daisy, and he's kind of like trying to control their relationship a little bit just by showing all of his wealth and throwing things down to her, like, look of all of what I have. And they were both kind of separated, so I had to go back and forth. And then when we went to just the shirts flying down, I tried to get just like how nice and gracefully the shirts just kind of floated down, which resembles his wealth. And the white, I had both of the white shirts flown down, which is kind of like their innocence, losing their innocence as it goes down.
Along with the innocence, especially it resembles that their affair is going to end badly, and it's like their happiness and their control with each other and their own lives, it's going to start falling apart, like the shirts like falling to the ground.
And for Daisy's voice, like, that was
pretty easy to do. And it kind of like shows her passive aggressiveness because she was saying like show me more, but since she says it in this pretty high voice, you can't tell she's like being commanding, and that's a demand when she says just show me more, like she's telling Gatsby what to do, and so it's kind of like she wants control of the situation. And also the dress is like red.
Oh yeah, the dress. We had Bree wear a red dress with white, and that's just kind of like, so her dress and everything kind of in the scene, we tried to make it look more 20s, I guess, and yeah.
Along with the dress, the red overpowers the white in it, so it's kind of like the chaos that's gonna occur is trying to push out her like young innocence when she was little. And I also, when Bree was being Daisy and she told me how beautiful the house was, I kind of tried to stutter and like make it seem like I didn't believe her, because it trying to portray Gatsby's hope that she would choose him and that she's like really happy about his wealth and that he finally reached his goal to try and be worthy of Daisy.
The next scene is when Myrtle gets run over, and when we started the scene, we started with Daisy and Gatsby getting in the car.
So in that scene, Daisy was trying to find some like little ledge to grab onto so she can control her life once again, because she was at a part where she didn't know what she was going to do.
And she had just lost her control, like
previously. She just lost it, so she was trying to gain something back, and then Gatsby was pathetically trying to keep his control, and so that scene is like a turning point to where they both end up falling over the edge of a cliff.
All right, Emily, do you want to talk about the symbolism with the car and the...
Yeah, like they just said, it is like the part where they're really losing control, because it's like their last grasp at control by Daisy trying to drive, and then when she starts, she realizes that it's too much and she loses control. And the car is white to symbolize purity and how it's like she's losing it, but she really wanted to have it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also just like how we tried to have white kind of throughout, or purity, just that symbolism almost in all the scenes. It's just like showing, oh, it's still there, but they're not really focusing on it so much, and they're just kind of taking control of it.
And then you see me as Myrtle, and I was wearing a purple dress with flowers, because flowers are kind of popular in the 20s, and also just to symbolize like the richness that Myrtle, like, not necessarily she was a rich person, but just like that attitude and lifestyle. And then I had a huge bow on top of my head, because in the 20s it was kind of like flamboyancy.
Yeah, and we wanted to make Myrtle just
Pop out.
just pop out and just kind of look not like in the right place, I guess.
Yeah. I thought that the big crash part where the screen goes white is like the flash of like the last part of their purity that is
just kind of
the
goes
big
out.
moment, and then it's gone.
And then from that, some of the cool effects we did was the blood effects.
I like that.
Yeah, it was actually a descriptive part about in the book. It says her blood mingled with the dust, and we made sure to include that, and that just kind of symbolizes how Daisy's abuse of control kind of dirties the life of others. It like affects it in a bad way, and Myrtle was killed by this.
We have the candle scene where Olivia, Bree, and Emma were in this scene, and Olivia and Daisy, or Tom and Daisy, are having a fight, and Gatsby's just in the shadows watching them.
I wore a black dress during the argument, and I thought it was kind of like flapper-esque, and also Savannah did my hair and she put like a beaded thing on, because flappers kind of wore that, and it's kind of like symbolizing like yin and yang, because Olivia as Gatsby wore a white shirt, and so it's kind of like
As Tom.
Yeah, as Tom.
Oh, just
Tom wore a
kidding,
white
I lied.
shirt.
Tom. And yeah, it was like,
The two opposites and
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
they realized how different they actually were.
Okay, the candle going out symbolizes it symbolizes Gatsby's hope for being with Daisy kind of going out. We had her say the line, this is on page 11, when she's talking about the longest day of summer and how we always seem to miss it. This goes great with Gatsby's feelings for Daisy. He always has been watching, hoping for Daisy one day. Like, he'll see her. He's always trying to find her. But he just missed her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he spent all this time building up his wealth and waiting for this one moment where he can please Daisy, and then he misses it. So this is also, like, missing it and the candle blowing out. That all kind of connects together. Yeah. So the very last scene that we did was coming back to Gatsby leaning against the tree. But this time, we started up close to Gatsby's face, or Emma's face, and we had tears on her face because Gatsby was crying while he was flashing, going back to his memories. And then at the end, we just zoomed out and it just kind of faded away.
He said that the tear represents it's water, and when you cry, tears run down your face like a river, which is like time, and how he went back in time to reflect on his loss of control